Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you so very much for joining me for part 27 of our series Kali for Everyone. And today we are honoring Ma Kamakhya Devi, the Divine Yoni. And again, welcome and namaste. I'd like to start out with a couple of quick announcements. So this coming Friday at 7 p.m., Halloween night, will be our annual devotion to Santa Muerta, Holy Death, in honor of our ancestors and also in honor of the fact that most of us watching this channel are here in the Western Hemisphere. And I think it's very important to honor the energies of the land on which we dwell. So again, 7 p.m. on YouTube. You can join live on YouTube, and you're always welcome to come in person to our temple, 1260 South Xavier Street in Denver, Colorado, 80219. Again, welcome and namaste. So Kamakhya Devi is the divine yoni, and she stands as one of the most revered goddesses in all of Hinduism. She embodies the creative and transformative power of Shakti, divine feminine energy. She's celebrated as the presiding deity of the Kamakhya temple in the Indian state of Assam. She is a central figure both in Shaktism, that is, goddess-centered Hinduism, and also in Tantric traditions as well. Kamakhya Devi's mythological roots are deeply entwined with the story of Sati, the first consort of Shiva, the previous incarnation of Parvati, the Divine Mother. According to legend, Sati's self-immolation at her father Daksha's yagya, his fire ceremony, led to Shiva's grief-stricken dance of destruction, the Tandava. To pacify Shiva, Lord Vishnu, the preserver, dismembered Sati's body by throwing his discus and scattering her remains all across South Asia. These sacred sites, which we find in India and Nepal, became known as the Shakti Pitas, each sanctified by part of Sati's body. Kamakhya is believed to be the site where Sati's yoni, her womb, her genitalia, fell, making it a very potent and divine symbol of femininity, fertility, and the source of all creation. The Kamakhya temple is an important center of Shakti worship, and it's located atop the Nilachal Hills in Guwahati, again in the state of Assam. The Kamakhya temple is one of the oldest and most powerful of the Shakti Pitas. Unlike many Hindu temples, Kamakhya does not enshrine an anthropomorphic idol. Instead, the goddess is worshipped in the form of a natural stone yoni, perpetually moist with underground spring water. And the temple is a focal point for tantric rituals, attracting thousands of devotees every year, especially during the Ambubachi Mela, which celebrates the goddess's menstruation and the creative cycles of nature. And during this time, the natural spring water is reddened from natural iron deposits. And I'd like to show you a couple of photos. One of the Kamakhya Devi temple. And this is the temple as it looks today. And the principal shrine, which is of a stone yoni fed by a natural spring. When you look at this photograph, you may notice that the yoni looks very much like a Shiva lingam. So we have this outer section here and this kind of conical stone in the center. In this particular photograph, somebody has also balanced a three-dimensional Sri chakra upon it. And it's good to talk about the traditional Shiva lingam. The lingam itself, the stone in the center, representing Lord Shiva and the masculine principle, is surrounded by this base. And the base itself is the yoni, the divine feminine. So in Shakta philosophy, the yoni, the divine mother, she is the creative principles, really the laws of nature that govern the universe. And Lord Shiva, the masculine principle, is energy and matter under the influence of those energies, of those principles. And so this would be a good time to refer to our altar. And in the center here, I have a very large piece of coral with a natural cleft down the center, a natural yoni shape. And I do have a lingam stone, which I've added to it. And this is a very special stone. This is one that I collected near a sacred site in Nepal called Manakamana. And Manakamana is one of the Shaktipitas. It is the place where the Divine Mother's heart is said to have landed on earth. And so we have a piece of a Shaktipita here in our principal yoni. And I have on our altar, I have several other yoni images from our temple, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir. And the yoni, natural yoni symbols, natural shapes, are just wonderful divine mother images that you could very easily incorporate into your practice. They can be as simple as a triangular stone. Downward facing triangles in yantras represent the feminine principle. Or it could be a stone with a natural hole in it, what's sometimes referred to as a hagstone, like this one I collected years and years ago in the Colorado Rockies. A geode can also work as a yoni symbol. And just any stone with a natural cleft within it would work wonderful for this type of ritual. Now, I mentioned how the yoni at Kamakhya is bathed naturally by a spring. And so we're going to do something a little bit different today for our devotional puja. Today's puja is going to serve as an introduction to a form of puja that's called an abhishek. And an abhishek is a bathing of a ritual image, very often while repeating a mantra, which is what we're going to be doing. And I'll say more about this type of ritual as we get into our practice tonight. Kamakhya Devi is revered as a supreme tantric goddess embodying the dynamic, creative, and liberating forces of the Shakti. Tantra recognizes her as the source of all desires, hence the beginning of her name Kama, and the power that fulfills them. She presides over both the left-handed or Vamachara path of Tantra and the right-handed path or Dakshinachara path of Tantra, which involve ritual practices ranging from the symbolic to the transgressive. And as the goddess who grants both worldly and spiritual boons, Kamakhya is invoked by tantrikas seeking siddhis, that is, spiritual powers or spiritual accomplishments, as well as liberation and the fulfillment of desires. The name Kamakhya is derived from kama, or desire, and the second half of the name, akhya, means name or marker, signifying that she whose name is desire, or she who grants desires. In the Tantric pantheon, Kamakhya is often identified with Tripura Sundari, Kali in the form of an adolescent girl, one of the 10 great wisdom goddesses, or the Dasha Mahavidyas, who we honored during Navaratri. And she's sometimes considered an amalgamation of all 10 of the Mahavidyas, all 10 of these great wisdoms. Her worship is thus central to both the Mahavidya branches of Tantra as well as the Yogini cults of Tantra as well, highlighting her supreme status in the Shakta tradition. Worship at Kamakhya encompasses both Vamacharya, or left-handed tantric practices, and Dakshinacharya, or right-handed tantra practices. And these would include the offering of red flowers, vermilion, fruits, and in some cases, animal sacrifices, although in many temples, this is largely symbolic, replaced by vegetarian offerings such as coconuts. Devotees recite potent mantras like the Kamakhya Bij mantra, which we'll be using tonight, and engage in sadhana, or spiritual practice, to seek the goddess's blessings for fertility, protection, and most important, for spiritual awakening. Kamakhya Devi is typically represented not by a human image, but by yoni-shaped stones in her temple. In art, she may be also depicted as a beautiful, red-hued goddess seated upon a lotus and adorned with flowers, sometimes holding lotus buds and accompanied by attendants or yoginis. Sometimes she is also shown like Ma Durga, riding a lion, symbolizing her power and sovereignty. The red color is associated with menstruation, fertility, and divine feminine Shakti energy. And so here is a traditional image, more of an anthropomorphic image of Kamakhya Devi. And here we see she's surrounded by a cloak of red fabric and red flowers, and she's riding like Ma Durga upon a lion. The yoni in Hinduism symbolizes the cosmic womb, the source of all creation, and the gateway to both birth and spiritual realization. The ever-flowing spring water represents the unending flow of divine energy, and the lion denotes courage and mastery over primal forces, while the lotus signifies purity and spiritual awakening amidst worldly existence. Benefits to, I'm just taking a look here. I'd like to thank Kim for joining us. Namaste. Anyone else who happens to be joining us this evening, please feel free to say hello on the chat function on the bottom of your screen. But the benefits of Kamakhya worship include fertility and progeny. Kamakhya is venerated as a grantor of children, making her especially important to couples trying to conceive. Tantrikas seek her blessings for spiritual accomplishments, or siddhis. Devotees believe that worshiping Kamakhya removes obstacles and brings abundance. And she's also invoked for protection from negative forces and for physical, emotional, and psychological healings. As a goddess of desire, she is approached for the realization of both worldly and spiritual aims as well. So Kamakhya Devi, therefore, remains a living embodiment of divine femininity, creative power, and spiritual wisdom. Her temple is not only a sacred site, but also a vibrant center for tantric learning, pilgrimage, as well as cultural renewal. Through her legends, worship, and enduring presence, Kamakhya continues to inspire seekers, empower devotees, and illustrate the path of Shakti in both the ancient and modern worlds as well. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya Devi Namaha. So the mantra we'll be using tonight is her Bij mantra. It's actually a collection of sacred syllables, Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha. Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha. Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha. So we'll be using this mantra during our puja, and then also the repetition of the mantra. For each repetition, I'll be offering a spoonful of blessed water to our altar as well, bathing these images in this form of puja, which is known as an abhishek or ritual bathing. Say a little bit more about the mantra. Om is the universal sound invoking divine consciousness. Really, um, it's the expansive power of creation. Kam, like the name Kama, is the Bij mantra for desire and creation. It's linked to Kamakhya's name, she of desire. Klim is a Bij mantra for attraction, love, and prosperity, associated with both Ma Kali and also Kama, the god of love. Kamakhya, we're addressing Kamakhya Devi, and then Namaha, salutations to or to whom we bow. Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha. Jema. Jema. Jema Kamakhya Devi. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated position where you can look upon your screen with a relaxed gaze. And as we perform our puja and our meditation, if you find yourself drawn to one of these Kamakhya images on our altar, that can be a meditational focus for you. But just find a position where your back can be straight. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest so your breath can be full. And let's begin with long, slow, deep yogic breathing. Breathing away the cares and the concerns of the day. Those worries of things that have happened and those worries of things that might need to happen. Just let those go for now. Breathing in a sense of relaxation, a sense of peacefulness, a sense of security. The same security that one might experience in the arms of one's mother. And focusing your breath and your attention to your heart center. And there, take a moment to get in touch with that divine mother force within yourself, that divine Shakti within all of us. And acknowledge that she is always there to lead us, to protect us, to heal us, and to teach us. And as we always do, I invite you to think of some part of your life that is really ready for healing or transformation or resolution. And take a moment, and I invite you to make a simple statement to yourself and to the Divine Mother, a personal intention or sankalpa for tonight's meditation. Just a simple statement of where you want to focus the energies of tonight's practice. Just express it as a simple statement or sentence and recite it 3 times. And then slowly Bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Let's open our practice by chanting the 3 opening seed syllables to our mantra. Om, Kam, Klim. So deep inhale for Om. Inhale, Kam. Ka. Inhale, Klim. Klim. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya Devi. Namaha. Om. Pavitra Pavitro Va. Sarvavistam Gatopiva. Yashmade Pandarikaksham. Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. And then I invite you to repeat our mantra, Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha, as we give our offerings. Om Kam Klim Kamakhya Namaha. 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 So now I invite you to continue the chanting of our mantra while I make water offerings to the centerpiece, to the different yoni symbols. You're welcome to join me chanting aloud, or you can just meditate in silence and just feel the vibrations of the mantra. This can be an open-eyed meditation, maybe focused on one of our yoni symbols here, or You can simply close your eyes and go within. Either way, allow this mantra to guide your consciousness to where it needs to be at this time. Jema Kamakhya. Jema Kamakhya. Jema Kamakhya Devi. Om Klim Kam Kamakhya Namaha. Om Kam Klim 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 Kamakhya Namaha. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya Devi. Namaha. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. I invite you to breathe deeply and meditate for a while in a place of stillness and silence, integrating the power of this mantra into your being. And feel that divine Shakti energy helping to make your personal sankalpa, your personal intentions, a reality. Feel those forces of creation, the womb of creation, the yoni of creation. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya. Jai Ma Kamakhya Devi. Namaha. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. So I invite you now to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Once again, acknowledging the presence of the Divine Mother within yourself. And know that she's there always for you. I also invite you to give gratitude to yourself for taking part in tonight's practice. Slowly opening your eyes if they're closed. Namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening. And Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Kamakhya Devi. So I shared with you tonight a very simple Abhishek Puja, bathing of our ritual images. Very simple yet very powerful. There are more complex forms of Abhishek where you begin with water, then you go to rose water, then there's offerings of melted ghee, of yogurt, of sugar, again concluding with water or rose water, and then finally drying the image. Abhishek is a wonderful way to consecrate a devotional image. When you do Abhishek, it may be helpful to have a kalash, a formal water pot, and actually the water pot itself can be regarded as an embodiment of the Divine Mother as well, very womb-like in shape. And then as for the water itself, I'm going to pan the camera back around, and you can already see we're preparing for our Santa Muerta celebration on Friday. Have some kind of bowl or tray underneath to collect the water. And then if you're doing the more formal Abhishek especially, that has the milk and the sugar and the ghee, and yogurt can also be used in this type of Abhishek celebration. You and those participating in that ritual can then share some of that, drink some of that as prasad. And also just the water itself. If you're doing just a plain water Abhishek like we did, you could certainly drink some of that as an internal blessing. You could also use that water for anointing, for blessing others by anointing them with the water, or blessing by anointing different ritual objects as well. And you could always take that water, that Abhishek mixture, and you can pour it around the periphery of your dwelling as a way of blessing and giving protection to your home as well. So I hope you really enjoyed this very powerful form of puja. As always, please feel free to reach out to me with questions or comments. omcdevi@gmail.com. That's AUMCDevi, DEVI, at gmail.com. Love to hear from you. And I really look forward to you joining me on Friday, Halloween night, for really it's more of a Day of the Dead celebration. So we'll be honoring the Dark Mother of the Americas, Santa Muerta. I'll do a short satsang about her as well, talking about her possible origins in Native American lore. And it's a wonderful time to honor our ancestors. And also, just like the leaves are falling from the trees right now, this is a wonderful time with this change of the seasons, going from fall into winter, letting go of things that in your life that no longer work for you. So I want to thank everybody, including Kim, for joining me this evening. Again, I look forward to you joining me Friday. And once again, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di. Thank you again so very much. Have a wonderful night. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma Kamakhya Devi. Namaha.